Hi, you guys. Welcome to First Among Equals. I am here with Amir the Amiracle.
And I'm here with Lonnie.
Oh no, it's starting. I need a drink now. Jeez.
You should be drinking. I wish you were drinking.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I don't drink alone.
Okay.
How are you today?
Well, first of all, you're not alone. So if you do want to pound the couple, take a shot.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't drink anymore.
That's great.
But I would have one with you.
You would, but you don't drink anymore.
Exactly.
Exactly. This is gonna be fun, guys.
Yeah.
Amir, you're here because I think that you're awesome. I saw
you
at a stand-up comedy night with the homie, and you were really funny.
Thank you.
It was in Atwater.
Atwater.
That's where you saw me, or I saw you.
Atwater,
that wine spot.
We know Vino.
We know Vino. Okay.
We know Vino, that one.
We do know Vino.
Yeah. Did I play guitar there?
Yes, you play guitar there.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was so fun. See, I'm glad now he remembers who I am. He's on my
I
show.
remember hanging out with you.
Okay, no, yeah,
I really do. We had a good time. You were really friendly, and like we were drinking that night and having a good time.
That's when you used to drink.
Yeah.
Damn, it was back in the day.
No, I drank Wednesday night, but I'm just not drinking every day anymore.
Oh, yeah. We all try not to do that anymore.
Yeah, you know.
It's just not good.
It's not good. My doctor told me to slow down.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You had the doctor conversation.
Yeah, when the doctor says to slow down,
you gotta slow down.
I tried to be rebellious and be like,
whatever.
Whatever. I'm good.
Well, your doctor's not watching this. No, I'm kidding. No, anyways. So I saw you in Atwater, and I just thought you were really amazing, and I haven't had a dope comedian, funny person that's actually like their life. Oh, I don't know. It's your life. I mean, your life's purpose is to be funny and hilarious. I mean, that's what I assume. What's your purpose for it?
I'm just trying to keep depressed people from being sad for like a few minutes at a time.
Aww.
You know, everybody's sad. Everybody's depressed. You know, everybody's going through stress. Everybody's got problems. You know, and I would like to think that humor is good medicine for that. And I have a lot.
That's crazy that you say that. How did you decide that was something that this is what you wanted to do?
Originally, I did not have good intentions like that. There was nothing spiritual behind it. It was just, I was looking for something to be passionate about because I was doing music. I was a full-time musician. I was in different bands. I was in different studios, a hired gun, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And then that just kind of got stale for me. I didn't feel like it was going anywhere. I wasn't able to make a living. I wasn't going on tour like I wanted to. And I was like, man, fuck this. So I just kind of just said, hey, I quit. And if I do music, it's going to be as like a hobby instead of like a passion. Mm-hmm. And then I was just like, I was dry. I had nothing to be passionate about for almost a couple years. And I remember just like, I've always enjoyed being around funny people. So I stumbled across this flyer that said free comedy class. And
where?
It was in Santa Monica, and it was this dude named Greg Dean. If you guys are looking for a free class to take, check out Greg Dean.
Dope.
He teaches you how to write jokes. He's amazing. He's awesome. My favorite. Anyway, so I stumbled across it. I after one class, I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do.
Wow, like that?
Yeah, I just felt it in my whole body. Like, this is what I want. Because, like, my main concern was, like, hey, if you're not born really funny, can you learn to be funnier? And he was like, yeah.
And you didn't think that you were funny before this?
I mean, people told me I was funny, but I just, like, I thought my humor was pretty crude at the time. It was very basic.
Yeah.
You know, but it turns out with like, if you work at it and train at it, you can elevate your sense of humor.
Okay. And where are you originally from?
I'm originally from the West Coast, Pacific Palisades.
Oh, you are?
There. Yeah. And so born in Santa Monica, grew up in the Palisades, and then spent high school through my adult life in the Valley.
You're a Valley boy.
I'm a Valley boy. I think I've been there long enough to be one.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think you graduated into the Valley University.
I went from a West Coast dude to a Valley boy.
Valley.
A lot of it was because of bad decisions in my life. But...
You know, the Valley does have a lot of bad decision making situations.
Nobody aspires to be like, I want to grow up and live in the Valley.
You're right. People are always just trying to go to the water.
Yeah. Well, on my side of town, you know, there's a lot of wealthy people, a lot of rich people and stuff like that. And they always, you know, frown upon you live a past Ventura, I can't fuck with you. You know, stuff like that. Yeah, it's like I was going to high school out there. I was like, oh, Valley's cool. I always liked the Valley. You know, I like the vibe out there. People weren't as bougie and just more down to earth. So I just kind of fell into that vibe.
Is there a really cool like scene there in the Valley, like a good comedy scene in the Valley?
Yeah, the comedy scene. I feel like
when I creep on your stuff, like I feel like there's a lot of like I don't know exactly sometimes where you are, but it seems like there is a.
You're creeping on my stuff?
Yeah, I creep on your stuff.
Oh, okay.
I do.
If I go missing.
Right? Start here. Yeah, so of course, isn't that the whole point? The whole point of that thing is everyone's creeping on each other's information. We all act like we don't know that we're creeping on each other's shit. Like,
yeah, there's no privacy.
It's crazy too, because sometimes, like, I'll put on my stories, whatever I'm doing, and then I'll see someone later, and then I'm like, start telling them what I was doing, and then later I'll see that they were watching me. And I'm like... It's weird that I'm telling you, like, that I did something, but you knew already.
Yeah.
And then we don't say anything. You're just like...
I've seen you. I've creeped on your stuff.
Yeah, right? But, like...
You do time-lapse stuff where you're, like, painting and you're
building
stuff. Oh, my God,
you creep. Like, you legit creep on me.
I did creep.
That's cool. I appreciate that.
Well, you do interesting things.
Thank you. Thank you. And so do you. That's why. That's why. Okay, so that's why I have you here. Because I think that... First Among Equals is about people who are just like looking for their passions and doing what they're passionate about and inspiring other people to fight for their passions. Because sometimes I feel like it's really hard to stay passionate and keep your eye on the ball per se.
Yeah. Because
there's so many excuses and reasons why we don't want to be passionate. It's like, oh, it's too hard, or I'm too tired, or I can't afford it, or it's just not worth it anymore, or for whatever reasons, people just sort of drop their shit, and then it's like where the depression kicks in and the stuff. So that's why I have you here now.
Well, good. I'm the perfect person to talk to about it.
Absolutely, and the fact that you went out the gate talking about how you were looking for passion, you were looking for something, and I think a lot of people think that it's easy to just do these things that we do. It's like you have to fight. You have to find it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I get depressed, and I know it's because I don't have a project going on.
Yeah.
I know me. It's like if I don't have some little baby obsession over something on the side, like even if I'm working full time now, I struggle with like I don't have the same amount of time to do the things I love.
Time is tough. Yeah.
And I love what I do, and I'm very proud of what I do, but at the same time, I do find myself getting a little bit down when I'm like, well, I don't have a new mural project, or I don't have something that I love and I hate it. Like it scares me.
Yeah.
Because I want to be scared. I want to be a little afraid of like what I'm doing. This is kind of scary sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Or doing what you do, it must be scary sometimes. Like putting yourself out there. I mean, it becomes a muscle though.
Yeah. I crap my pants like all the time. You crap
all the time, right?
I'm constantly crapping.
I can see that.
It's too much. That's the only reason I haven't gotten too much weight.
Well, then that's when the diapers come in.
Yeah, well,
they have those adult diapers, don't they? I mean,
thank God, guys. We are sponsoring adult diapers.
Yeah, we are.
Today,
we'll see it after the show. You'll see it.
No, the first time I ever did stand up, I had to go to the bathroom like 5 times before I went on stage. I was so scared. I never had the shit so bad. And like when I did music,
it was just nervous shit.
It was nervous shit, but it still kept coming out though. That was the weird part. Like it wasn't dry heaving shit.
Yeah, it was just still. Well, that's horrible because then that's a whole other situation. So then okay, so tell me your first time.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, your first time.
My first time.
Wait, comedy though.
Comedy, yeah.
Your first.
Because like when I did music, I was still nervous for that. Like I would crap before I go on stage for that.
Yeah.
And that was enough.
And I'm sorry, what were you playing?
Guitar.
Okay, just so people understand what you do.
Yeah,
you still do
I'm a guitar player. I still am. I've been playing. I've had a guitar in my hand since I was 12, so I've never stopped. And but with comedy, like my first show was at the Comedy Store in front of like 80 people.
Oh my god!
In the belly room.
Babe.
Yeah.
In the belly room. That's awesome.
It was packed, and like a lot of my friends and family were there.
Oh, you invited people?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, when you
That
first,
takes balls, dude. I would go there, lone woman wolf pack. I wouldn't tell. Maybe I'd tell one person.
if I knew what I knew now,
I would not.
I
fuck
would
with
not
it like that, right?
invited everybody to see how bad I was back
Oh.
then. But like but when you're in a class, they encourage you to bring
Yeah, that
everybody.
makes sense.
Anyway, it was just. I went up last, so I had to wait the whole 90 minutes to go up. So of course I'm crapping for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And the hour before that I was waiting. And so when I went up there, it was fine. I did great. I thought I was corny, you know, after watching the video. And then my friends afterwards, they give you like the real review, like, hey man, I wanted to throw bananas at your ass the whole time.
That's funny. So what? Okay. So what do you remember being like? How long were you up there?
I did about 6 to 10 minutes or
Wow.
something like that. You know, like when you first start, you don't have a lot of material. So
Yeah, but
just,
still, that's
Yeah.
actually not bad. I mean, well, how'd it go?
no, it went great, and
You just
everybody
felt
was
like you were
drunk.
cheesy. Well, yeah, that's the whole
Yeah.
2-drink minimum. That's how they get you.
Thank God. And
Thank
like
God. Yeah, thank God.
those crowds are nicer because they're there to support you. You know, like
Yeah.
It was a warm crowd. I went up last. Everybody was having pretty decent sets through the
Okay.
night, and so afterwards, I felt great. I was like, "Woo, I did it!"
That's so
You know,
cool.
and that was like after like 2-3 months of me just learning comedy. So like I didn't rush into that. That was months in the making.
How long was the actual comedy, like the classes that you were taking?
Well, they were like once a week for like 2 months at a time.
Okay.
So it was just like it was a really slow way to dip my toes in the water, so to speak.
Yeah.
But like if anybody wanted to just get into comedy right away, I would say just go to open mics. And like there's no pressure. You don't have to be funny. You could just get on the mic and talk, and then you're in front of people that are just there to do the same thing. And it's depending on the open mic, it could be a much more comfortable arena to start.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are friendlier ones than other ones. Kind of like the vibe or whatever. The room might have a
Yeah.
different energy in it.
Yeah.
What do you find is like the most challenging part of sort of getting into this new? I mean, how long have you been doing it for now, actually?
Oh man, I think I've been doing stand up since I think about 7 years now, 6-7
Wow.
years. Yeah. So, I started because my last music band I created was called the Sweet Sweet Laxatives. That was our. I got really hammered and I was like, yo, I need a good name for this band. And so I was like, what better than Sweet Sweet Laxatives? We say Sweet Sweet. That was our thing. And we put out an album called Bombs Away.
Okay,
We wrote-
that actually makes so much sense.
It does, right? We wrote songs that shit on people, and that was our thing. We would do dumbass stuff on stage, like
So you were a comedian
at the time.
already.
I already
You were on
embraced
the path.
funny music. But before that, all my music was serious. But when I started the Sweet Sweet, I was done with serious stuff, and I just wanted to just fuck around.
Yeah.
And so that's what that band was. And then that band got dismantled within a year. As soon as the album came out, the band was done. The drummer had to move, the bass player had to go, and then it was just me. And I didn't feel like rebuilding it. So I just said, I don't know what I'm gonna do for a while. And then I just kind of left it at that. I cut my dreadlocks off. I had
like a whole like
I had a whole
new
look.
you and
I had dreadlocks down to here.
Damn.
I was looking pretty cool, and then I cut it to go get a day job. And that
Isn't
was
that crazy how that happens? Like, you just have to like shed skin or shed yourself and then get a day job.
That was the worst decision ever. I hated that day job so much.
I can't see you doing a day job, dude.
I was terrible. I cheated. I lied.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not you.
I drank a lot. All that stuff. So,
It goes against the grain of who you really are.
man, if
I
I
just
was,
don't see you being like a. I don't know if it was like a suit type thing.
it was. I was
Yeah, I
Enterprise
can't see you as a
Rent-A-Car.
suit. I could not. That's what I imagined you to like. You cut your hair like it just. It's like
Yeah.
the unicorn cut his horn.
Yeah, if you scroll on my Facebook page and go all the way back to 2009, you
Yeah.
will see pictures of me
Creep on that.
as a normal guy.
As a normal guy, we don't need to see you like that. I feel bad for the Enterprise run. I mean, sometimes you go in there and it's just.
Oh my God. If you work for Enterprise and you're listening right now, Get the fuck out.
Yeah, it's bad.
Get out.
It never seems happy there. It always seems like it's like the DMV, not as bad, but people are always kind of annoyed.
They're overworked.
Just want their fucking cars.
They're working you 60 hours a week. You're making just above minimum.
Yeah.
And you have to go to all these dinner meetings afterwards.
Gross.
And then they sell you this, they dangle this carrot in front of you like you're going to be an area manager one day and all this stuff. And meanwhile, you're selling car insurance to people with car insurance already.
Yeah.
That's your whole thing.
That's true. That must be so annoying.
Anyway, I was miserable. I hated it. But some people loved it and they flourished. So kudos to you guys. You guys are making a good living.
Those area managers.
Yeah. If you're a creative person, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Go live
hard.
your dreams.
It's so hard to live your dreams though.
It is. It is if you're working if you're full-time plus, it's going to be really hard to find time to follow your passion. My recommendation is if you have a passion that you want to pursue, have a job, have a day job, but do as many hours as necessary to cover your necessities. Cover your bills, rent, your car, all that stuff. Have that covered and then spend the rest of your hours on your passion.
What made you come to that kind of like come to Jesus moment of like being an enterprise and just going, you know what, I need to just... What did you hit
when I quit Enterprise?
Yeah, like what was it? Was it just...
Oh, you mean when I quit music and went to Enterprise? That moment, I put a time limit on myself when I was in my mid-20s, and I was just like, hey, if I'm not made it by 28, I'm gonna quit. And I'd already been doing music 10 years, so I was like, my dumb ass stuck to that commitment. And my musician friends were like, no, don't do it.
But sometimes you got to do it to come back and actually appreciate it. I feel like that because I've always done the part-time gigs too because I was always trying to do the art and work in education. But it's like, I'm also a believer, like if you're only half doing something and half doing something else, you don't get there. Yeah. Because you're only half-assing two things. Yeah. So it's a struggle because, I guess for you, like you said, like because everything you're doing, comedy and everything is at night. True?
Mostly. I do a lot of podcast stuff and video shoots, and that's daytime stuff. So
is that for money or is that for art?
I make no money. Right? Even stand up, I barely make money doing that sometimes. Like I have to go out on the road to get paid, and I have to sell merchandise to make extra money. And it's not a good living. Like not in the beginning. Like I'm trying to get to the point where it is a good living, but it can take years to get there. This is not a quick journey.
No, heck no. And it's not supposed to. Anytime that you love something you do, it's not supposed to be easy. Mm-mm. Anybody who really has like maintained and gained something from a meaningful passion has had to have put so much sweat and tears and said no to so many opportunities or different things to do what you want to do. Oh yeah, I'm sure, right?
I've had to sacrifice hanging out with my friends a lot, going to like baby showers.
Yeah, those baby showers that we all love to go to.
Man, yeah, the baby shower. I've missed out on so much, but like once you get to a place, you got to just find balance in your life and then spend time with your friends and family, do your passion, do your job, and then, find time for love or not, whatever, all that stuff.
That is so hard. Finding time for love.
Yeah, I know.
It's so hard. No, because it distracts you too.
It can be distracting. You need a partner that supports you in what you do.
Yeah, that's a whole other podcast.
That's another podcast. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. So, so now in terms of what you're working on, tell us a little bit about what you're working on professionally right now.
Oh, okay.
Who you be right now?
Who I be? Who I with? You guys want to know? I'll spit.
That's right. Oh shit. Cypher. Okay. Yeah.
I'm working on. I got my hands in a couple pots right now. Aside from the stand up and going on the road. I'll be a part of a comedy festival in San Luis Obispo coming up.
Slow. I love Slow.
Fest. Yep. So
what's it called?
It's called the Slow Fest.
It really is
Slow
called the Slow Fest.
Yeah.
That's dope. When is it?
It's gonna be the end of February, 27th through March 1st. So I'll get to be out there for a whole week.
That is so cool.
Doing stand up for that crowd. So if you're in Slow, come out and
come to Slow.
Yeah, totally or come to Slow. It's only a couple hours out of LA.
It's so quick. You can totally go to Slow.
Yep.
It doesn't take that long.
No, it's not. It's a nice drive. Get out of LA.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I saw Nine Inch Nails at Slow. It was my favorite concert of all time.
Oh, word. Okay. All right. Well, maybe you come out to Slow and hang out.
I really want to go to Slow now. See it on my story. Creepers. No. So tell me about. So this is a week-long thing. Is it like touring different little clubs?
We'll be in different venues around Slow. Every night there's going to be stand-up comedy. And there's 40 comedians that were handpicked by some judges to be a part of this.
Some judges.
Out of thousands of comics that wanted to be in it. So, yeah.
Who are these judges?
They're also just our fellow comedians.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it pays to be nice.
Did you have to submit?
I had to submit.
Like...
Yeah, I had to be like, please.
You are not worthy. Sorry, it's a Wayne's
No,
reference.
I mean, all these festivals are just... It's the same thing. You pay like an entry fee.
Yeah.
You submit your YouTube video.
Yeah.
And then they check it out. And as long as you're...
So only 40 of you?
Yeah.
What number are you in the 40? I know, it's just being funny. He's like, I'm 27.
Number 1.
Yeah, that's what you gotta say. I'm number 1. Yeah. That's dope. 40 people. That's really cool. So is this a yearly thing? Have they always...
Every year.
For how long have they been doing this?
I think this is their 9th or 10th year.
That's so cool. Have you gone before?
Not to this one. No, this will be my first time with this one. Last year I was in Big Pine, which is a festival in Flagstaff, Arizona. And then I was in one in the U.S. Comedy Contest in Pasadena. So there's a lot of festivals and contests to be in. So if you're a comic listening to this and you want to get into them, just go on to Facebook and type in comedy festivals and stuff like that. You'll see all of them.
That's so cool. There's a circuit like that now, and that now with all the social media, that's so much easier to find kind of that. And so, sorry, so I got all excited. What else do you have?
Oh, so guys, I'm really excited to talk about my podcast.
Yes.
We're called The Wings of Love. You can find us at Wings of Love Sexy Time because everything else was taken. For
Yeah, so where did that name come from?
Well, the name came from we were the first month of our podcast we were doing every week. We didn't have a name. And so I came in singing.
But you have to put something on your name.
Yeah, so we would just make up a random title for that day.
Okay.
And then finally we decided to vote on it, and I was singing this one song I couldn't get out of my head at the time. Is
it a your song?
No, it's a love song.
Oh, it's a love song. Okay.
Yeah. Does it sound familiar already? Do you know?
Wings of Love?
On the wings of love.
Oh yeah.
The two of us together.
Oh my gosh, that is so throw. Okay.
Do you know who sings? Do you get points if you know who sings it?
I don't know who sings it.
Oh, come on.
I don't know who sings
Soundman, you know who sings it? No, he don't
No,
know.
he's
too young. Yeah, this is back in the day. It's Jeffrey Osborne.
I wouldn't have known. That's so back in the day. I know it, but it's one of those if you didn't sing it, I wouldn't have remembered it.
Yeah.
But then it's one of those oh snaps, I do know that song. That's cool. So why?
Well, it was just spur of the moment. And I kept singing it, and I was like, my buddy Chris was like, hey, what are we going to name this? And then I was singing the song, and I was like, hey, let's just call it Wings of Love. And he's like, no, I hate that. I hate that title. And then Travis was like, I like it. And so we voted, and me and Travis voted Wings of Love, and it just stuck.
And then when you try to name it, Wings of Love was taken.
Yeah, so social media wise, we had to add the sexy time at the end.
So did he get the sexy? Who was like, let's just add sexy time? Because you could have said anything else.
Yeah, but nothing was as funny as
sexy time. So this is what you're working on now.
Yeah.
So people can find this on Instagram too.
Yeah, Instagram,
Instagram.
Facebook, all that.
Yeah, so I'm following it on Instagram. And what's the intention of that page?
Our intention is to put out 1-minute clips, also 5-minute clips of moments that we have with guests. So we'll have a comedian or somebody like you, Lonnie, and then we'll have moments on that podcast, and then we share from that hour-and-a-half podcast that we take 1 minute or so of it, and we just push that out there so we can have content for people to see and make people like you shine in a creative way. So we do songs about articles. We
current events.
Yeah, so we find weird articles. Like, it's usually something out of Florida.
Oh, of course it's Florida.
Yeah, it's always some bullshit coming out of Florida.
Florida what? Germany? Florida, some weird shit comes out of Germany, too.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, yeah.
Germany.
Yeah, Florida's always fun.
And we do prank phone calls to music.
You do? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's so much fun.
Prank calls used to be so fun.
Yeah,
Those
they still
the best.
are. You gotta do it.
Yeah, I haven't done it in years.
You can do one right now.
Oh my God, we could. A friend of mine, she and I used to do prank. We used to call, we used to go downtown a lot and just mess around. And we used to, when they used to have the pay phones, we would collect the phone numbers and then we'd go to her house and then we'd sit there on Friday nights and like call the payphone in downtown in like the shadiest area, and the craziest people would pick up. Like it was just crazy. Like back then it was just like, who knows who you got on the phone.
Oh yeah.
Some crazy
shit.
It was
like
so we did some crazy stuff with those situations.
And that's my favorite is prank.
That's so old school.
Remember the Jerky Boys?
Of course. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that's such an old school like.
Those guys were
the Jerky Boys they were really good.
They did voices and stuff.
They did all these voices and they were so East Coast.
Yeah.
And it was that's old school.
Yeah, that's old school. They had a movie off of prank calls.
They did. They even made a movie. That's how much that was what it was about. I love that era. The comedians and the style back then was just so kind of raw, you know?
Yeah.
What would you say now? Temperature wise in comedy, like is there a certain style that's like more popular than another, or is there what I mean, some shit trends? Like I'm kind of
comedy
curious.
is going through a lot of issues these days because the SJWs, social justice warriors, are making comedy not as free, free speech wise. So like, and then on top of that, there's more niche stuff where like comedians are going in a Republican route and they want to like focus on Republican view comedy. So, and the thing is, it's like comedy is based off of truth and it's also personal experiences. So when it's also stifled by people being offended by their beliefs, it ruins comedy. And on top of that, if people think you shouldn't talk about certain thing because, you know, like transgenders or what else is like a hot topic that people have a hard time with?
What is it like?
Talking about the president
or anything political right now. I think
people get offended so easily. It could ruin your career if you're like a famous comic.
Yeah, it's these virtue signal, like all these people that are trying to condemn people for having an opinion and being able to say what you feel, and also just saying something off color should not be a reason for people to just be pulled off air or taken away or taking their voice away.
Yeah.
I agree. And that's the reason why I love comedy so much. I've said it a lot of times, I think even on the podcast, is I feel like comedy are like the real truth sayers.
I agree.
Comedians are always the ones that are saying what people are thinking.
People do look to comedians for like public opinion on stuff. Yeah, George Carlin is huge.
George Carlin's amazing. Yeah. I mean, I don't even think it was comedy. It was like a reality. He was a philosopher, and he was always saying things that I think people were not understanding the depth of what he really. It wasn't funny.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was like, you're watching a speaker, someone who's really thought well out. Like he's really thought the complexities of like the human sort of what we go through as people and how we think about things, and our government. He was really adamant about us understanding how the government sort of keeps us in this like zombie reactive state, and let's just not focus on the true, like the real problem. Let's just
the government and religion were like two of his biggest topics.
Huge. Carlin is like, to me, it was like such an amazing.
I
love comedians. Yeah. I mean, I love comedians. Robin Williams was amazing.
Yeah, he was also amazing. A whole other side of the spectrum, just as amazing. Yeah. You know, like I would say for sure, Carlin is in my top 5.
Me too.
You know, do you have your top 5 comics?
I wasn't ready, but I love Louis.
Yeah, I still love Louis too.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna.
Louis, come back. He's back. He's on tour.
I've been here. I've been hearing stuff. You know, I love Louis. I understand the multiple sides and everything, and I've tried to.
There's a lot that wasn't said. Though.
I know.
And,
I know.
He's not as the monster that everybody's.
No, I know, but I'm also at this point where we're gonna go. Like, how far? What do we do with these people that get cast away? Like, we can't just think that we're gonna cast away people that do these like things that are publicly. Of course, they're not right. What he did was not right. I absolutely agree with it. But at the same time, what are the next steps? We can't just like shun people away and then not have like a secondary, like, okay, what are we going to do?
Yeah, he needs to be forgiven, and he's paid his debt to society. He's been gone for like 2 years now.
And that's my shit is, how long is too long? How long is somebody supposed to hide away because they've been cast away for something they fucked up? Everyone fucks up. I'm not saying that it's good what he did, but it's like at some point, like you said, 2 years, is that enough? Someone's going to say that it's not enough.
It's kind of.
And then someone else is going to say he should have been back sooner. Yeah. It's not fair. Like it's all.
I mean, Louis ready to come back.
Oh yeah.
And that's what matters. So if he's ready, he just needs to make his rounds and get America back on board on his side. Yeah. And the good thing is like when you're that funny, it shouldn't be that hard for him to get people back.
No, it's not. I just think that it's like people are controlled by the masses. It's like once it's okay again, it's virtue signaling. It's like if a group of people start to accept him again, then everybody's like, oh, okay, we can accept him again.
Do you think the Me Too movement has slowed down, so maybe he can't come back
yeah,
now?
It has slowed down. I think that these things have to happen to these extremes in order for us to rebalance.
Yeah.
It's like a recalibration of our country. So I think that I feel a lot more. I looked at my Facebook, like those memories when they show you what happened, what you did 4 years ago, 3 years ago. And my whole thing was anti-Trump. I was going through like the pain of like realizing he was our president. So everything was like super Dem, super liberal, super like fuck him and fuck him. And then the march was like a week ago. So I had all these things of me marching. Yeah. And it's like, I'm actually glad now he's our president. And I never would have said that. 4 years ago, I was like, I was just appalled.
Yeah.
I was emotional. I was crying. I was like completely a mess. But now I'm like, all those racists were always there.
Yeah, they were there.
They were all there. They just came out.
Yeah.
It's like the roaches. Like he was just this like bomb that went off. And then all the roaches came out. You can't kill the roaches if you don't see them.
Yeah, it's true.
So in a weird way,
so you're saying kill all the white people, the racist white people. That's what
I just said.
You heard it here first, guys.
You heard it here first. So anyways, back to the roaches, aka the white people. All I'm saying is I think that it just really made me see that the bubble I live in is a bubble that I live in.
Yeah, we all live in a bubble.
What I mean?
Every city,
everyone does.
Everybody's in a bubble. When I go out of LA, it is not as liberal as you would think. Like outside of LA, just like 20 miles out, it's all Trump town. It's completely different.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Sometimes I go, oh, look, if I'm like on dating stuff, and yes, I date. So I'll be on dating stuff, and it'll be like, I'll think he's hot, and I'll be like reading. I'm like, oh, he's cute, and then it's like conservative. I'm like,
what apps are you on?
Oh,
Plenty of Fish?
What are we doing? No, that's disgusting. I hate Plenty of Fish. Plenty of Dogs.
That used to be my jam back in the day.
For you. Plenty of Dogs. Shit. So that's a horrible ocean.
Find Lonnie on eHarmony, maybe.
Man, that is a horrible sea to be in. That Plenty of Fish is just like... No. I like Hinge.
Hinge? I haven't heard of that one.
Really? I like Hinge.
Why? What is Hinge?
And Bumble. I like Bumble.
Bumble is where the women can approach the man.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
And what is Hinge?
Because then I can change my mind if like I liked somebody in it, and then they go into my whatever. Then later I'll be like, oh, what was I thinking? Never mind. Leave that one alone.
Okay. And then what does Hinge have to offer?
I just it's not as slutty as Tinder.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like it's like the elevated version of Tinder.
So you can't swipe as much?
No, you can. I hate when you can't swipe as much. When they're like, you're done with your swipes. I'm like, you can suck it. I'm not going to wait another day. Like Coffee Meets Bagel kills me. And no, I was so done with that one. Because that's like, you can only... Yeah.
I haven't even heard of that
one. Other podcast.
Coffee Meets Bagel. Yes. Okay.
That one, they try to make it, I think, sound like friendly for women. Because I think it's harder. I think it's easier for guys to like find girls. I think girls, these dating apps are really turn off.
Well, because it's not the same for you girls, because women go off of confidence and how we make you feel in person. And guys, we just go off of what, that ass looks like. We just want to see.
Absolutely.
We're visual. Like, okay, she built right. I'm good. Then we don't care what you think. Like,
absolutely. And the thing is, but I think it is starting to train women to see men that way too. Because now I have no I don't even read their things sometimes. And I used to be like it was like a literary scholar reading everybody's information because I wanted to like genuinely get to know a guy. Yeah. But if he's an asshole, he's going to be an asshole anyways. It's just more like, okay, cute. And then I'll care after if I read it and then I'll go, no, he's conservative. No, forget it.
Is that really the word that goes through your mind? Cute, when you're looking through that story?
Yes. Yes, cute. Why? What's the word that goes through your mind, yo? Oh my gosh. I don't even want to know the word.
I don't know. I'm not on any websites or apps right now, so sorry.
Yeah, how do we... That's so funny. I'm glad we're talking about it, though, because I usually only talk to girls about it. I think. No, I do talk to Dad about it. My other homie, we talk about it. We'll have drinks together and we'll switch our phones, and then he'll try to he'll swipe for me and I'll swipe for him. And I'll see him swipe for some nasty dudes, and I'm like, dude, fuck you. We've done that before. It's a thing. Anyways, I think it's fun. It should be a fun game. We all just drink and swipe on each other's apps.
I know comics that love going on the road, and when they do, they change their Tinder zip code, and then they try to get fans to come out to shows.
Oh.
That way. Or at least not fans, but girls that they're trying to
That's funny.
Hook up with. Come to the show, girl, whatever.
That's actually not a bad idea. It's good networking.
It's promotion. So.
It is promotion.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to you.
All right.
Enough about love.
Enough about your dating life.
Love. I love it though. So you were talking about so the page. So that's the intention you're saying is just for people to see snippets of people.
Yeah. So we like to put a light on our friends, and we have very, very funny friends. So check it out at Wings of Love Sexy Time.
I love it. Okay.
And what else am I involved in? We also perform as a band, Wings of Love. So we do pure musical improv. So we put on a beat, and I have the guitar, and then we interview certain people in the crowd, and then we make songs about.
Oh, that's cool. Is that them. So? This is a stand-up, even.
It's almost like stand-up. But we're making songs too.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, who is actually in the
group? Chris Rubio, if you guys have not heard of him, check him out. Very funny guy.
Are you guys all comedians?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all comics just trying to, make a dollar.
Yeah. And so Chris Rubio?
That's it.
Oh, okay, just you and Chris Rubio.
Yeah.
You said Travis.
Well, Travis was one of the people that we started with.
Okay, got it.
Because we liked him, and he also had access to a podcast studio.
Oh, cool.
Unfortunately, Travis wasn't able to keep up with our weekly routine of going to a new studio.
Got it.
So he kind of dropped out.
Okay.
But that's fine. We still love him, and he's always welcome to come back and do shows with us. So there's no hard feelings there. But yeah, it's easier for us to move around with just the two of us.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when I was
it's hard to stay committed in a team.
It is.
Stuff. Like me and brother struggle. Like just doing this. It's just our schedules in life.
Yeah, bands are tough to keep together. Like it's like managing like a business with like 4 guys, whatever. And I used to do that. You got to keep them all motivated, believe in the dream, and all that stuff.
That too, man. Believing the dream is hard when you're like
when it's not your dream either. That's the other thing.
That's true. And people's dreams change or priorities change.
Yeah.
And some people aren't legitimately, they're just there for a little while, but they're not,
Well, there's always like one guy that does all the work, and then there's like 3 guys that are there to like be there at the show.
Yeah. Like, he's shaking his head.
Right? Yeah, it's so much easier like with another comedian like Chris, because me and him are so highly motivated. We work so hard that we're trying to just find the time from our busy schedule so we can put in work together. And we do. So we commit to at least once or twice a week of putting in work together along with shows that we do. And we've been able to prosper that way.
I trip out on that because I feel like sometimes I get like kind of envious of that's kind of why like, the Beatles worked or, like certain bands were like they found each other at the right time.
Yeah,
they were in the right neighborhood. They all grew up in the same whatever. And like, if you've noticed, a lot of like really famous people, it's like they went to school together.
Yeah.
They both went to the same high school. They both were on the same blah blah. And for whatever reason, like the magic of them being able to find each other, then figure out their skill set together, and then be able to create something amazing and then keep it going for years is like super rare.
It's rare. Most bands break apart.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough to keep something going that long. So kudos to all the bands that are still out there pushing it.
Yeah, I always wish, because I feel like I've always had that heart, and I always wanted, because I was very much into hip hop, and I was doing hip hop, and I was in a hip hop group, and it was like hard.
So you rap?
I used to rap, yeah.
What?
Yeah, I did. I used to rap, and I used to DJ. That's why. But
hell yeah.
So I was supposed to be like the DJ rapping girl with the with the person. I'm not gonna say anybody's names. But it didn't work out because it just didn't work out, and so it's a trip because. And I went to music school. I went to record. I went to LA Recording School in North Hollywood.
Yeah, I heard of it.
I was gonna be a recording engineer, and so I think that I just never found that other person.
That you vibe and click
that I
with.
could vibe, and that it could have been, because like I'm kind of like you, like I'm an artist, like I have multiple passions, so I'm not just one thing. Like you're not just you are, and you haven't stopped, but you were a musician,
right?
And I'm sure you've done something else that you're not talking about, maybe artistically, I don't know, but it's like when you're an artist, you're doing. Brother here, records music, plays music, creates music, and now he's doing a podcast. Like, he's multiple talents too. Like, I just think once you find a partner that you can do something with, it's like, don't let it go.
Right. And put in bash their work or more. Don't be the guy that's just there to coast along. You know?
I absolutely agree with that.
And that's why I love being a stand-up comedian. That's why I got into being a stand-up comedy, because when I learned that I'm in charge of my own progress. So as long as I keep going to open mics and working on getting funnier and funnier, I realized I'll get more shows, more doors open, my pay increased.
Totally.
All that stuff happens just all off of my back. And so...
Just you, yeah.
Yeah. So guys, if stand-up comedy, get into it.
Yeah. And keep going, keep pushing. And I think that's what we're talking about. Like, having the passion, but also having the consistency of pushing forward and not letting shit get you down. Because it's funny, you said you were a musician and then you kind of left that and now you're in comedy, but now you've brought the music back.
Yeah.
So you're still doing it.
I'm still doing. Well,
you just found it in another way.
I found it another way. It transformed and morphed. And like, I still play in bands from time to time. Like, I was in my buddy's R&B band for one show. We did like 6 rehearsals in 2 weeks because I had to learn like 15 to 20 songs in 2 weeks. And then we just did that one show, and then that was it. And that was great. I love doing it. But I think what's more important than following your passions, or just as important, I should say, is even if you're out of college and you're doing your passions and you're working, never stop learning. Keep finding ways to educate yourself on things that you're interested in. Read a new book. Like, my thing is reading a new book every month. So
really,
yeah. So like right now, I'll give you an example. Like right now, I've always wanted to learn more about how to negotiate better. So there's this book out called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. He's doing a masterclass on YouTube right now.
Oh wow!
It's out of my budget, so I said I'll just read the book. I got the Audible because I'm always in my car.
I love Audible.
Yeah, and this guy basically breaks down how to bargain, how to haggle, how to negotiate anything, which applies to
everything.
Your love life, buying something,
your value,
how
you value yourself.
Yeah,
it's all like it's all connected to that.
It's all connected, and you're negotiating something at least 10 times a day, and you don't even realize it.
Within yourself too, just the idea. Yeah. So wow, that's so cool. So what is your take? Have you finished it?
I finished it. It's really good.
I need to read it. What was your takeaway from it? Like, was there one big cool nugget of like, you were like, oh snap, like?
I've always, like, sometimes when, I've seen it work for me a couple times. Like, I was, a booker was asking me to come do a show, and the pay was barely enough. Okay. So I just asked if we could negotiate a higher rate.
Okay.
I just kept it pretty simple, and then he doubled it, and that was great. And I was like, cool. I'm in. And then, but before I read the book, I was too timid to even ask that.
But
You know,
yeah.
so
I've done that so many times to myself.
Yeah.
And then I feel I'm mad at myself. It's like I can't be mad at them.
Yeah, and that's not good for you because and the person you're working for, because you might not work as hard, you might not complete your project on time because you agreed to something that
you really didn't agree with.
Yeah.
And then you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah.
And then you just feel shitty. Because I'm an artist. Like, people either think that my shit's for free, or they undercut me hugely try to, and I'm like, the paint, the physical effort, like the physicality of painting huge murals is just really time consuming. And sometimes before, I wouldn't even put in the time for all the prep I would do, because I'd have to like sketch the whole thing out somehow and then submit it to them so they can get an approval. Then all the hours of me collecting all the bullshit from Home Depot, like, that's another 2-3 hours of work, and I would never put it in when I would budget for it. And I was just like, when I was younger, I just didn't. I was always like, they're doing me the favor. Oh my god, they like asked me to do it, so I'm gonna hook them up.
You need this book.
No, I'm not like that anymore. I'm not. I'm not. In fact, my last mural I did, I was really happy with what I got for it.
Okay, good.
And it paid for a bunch of stuff for me after. But I'm saying is, there was a time for a long time as an artist, you feel like you're just grateful that people are like listening to it or watching it or experiencing something you're doing. You're just grateful they're there.
Yeah.
You're not.
And that's how you know it's a passion, because you would do it for free if you could. But, unfortunately, we do need the money. So
yeah, we need to survive. Yeah. And we need to be successful and thrive, not just survive. And I think that, I've grown up in a very like survival mode a lot. It's like, but how do you get yourself out of thinking that way all the time? Like, just barely making it, just barely having enough. Like, you have to expand your mind and love yourself to know that you're worth more than
for me,
just this minuscule thing,
For me, it was I was barely getting by and I was struggling with money. And for me, just not drinking every night was
huge. It makes a huge difference.
And when I used to smoke cigarettes, that was a problem. Smoking weed, like all that stuff. Yeah, and that wasn't
it fogs your mind.
It does, and like you're not 100% the next day. And so I was drinking maybe like a couple beers a night, right? I didn't think it was that big a deal. It was just something, because I'm always in bars doing stand up.
Yeah.
But like, that adds up. That $10 to $14 you're spending every night.
Dude.
That's like $100 a week that I get to save in my account. And cigarettes. Oh my god, that's the worst.
I trip out. Like, I love my friends, but I got a few friends who smoke like chimneys.
Yeah.
Such
an expensive habit.
It's expensive, and it's just a gross habit. It's gross.
Yeah, it's a luxurious when you are a smoker. It feels good. I loved smoking cigarettes. I miss it.
That's what you miss the most?
Yeah, I miss being able to smoke and drink and not
combo and not.
Yeah, and just be all right. Like my 20s, I loved the times that I loved the most was when I wasn't doing music and I wasn't doing comedy yet. I was just coming home from work, and I would start up my barbecue.
Oh, that
I would pour me some whiskey.
That sounds good though.
I started smoking.
Yeah.
I had a little patio area.
Just chilling and grilling.
I'd have a friend. I'd have a girl come over later.
Yeah.
And bam. That was my lifestyle for a couple of years, and I loved it.
And that's great.
And that was great at the time, but now I just don't have time to do any of that shit. Nothing. So
I have trouble doing that shit now. Like, I don't feel... I'm just like, well, I could be doing this other thing. Like, I love it. When I do it, I do it.
Right, you go hard when you do it.
I go hard when I do it. But it's because I don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it's definitely like, I don't know, it feels like it's definitely a special thing when I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way, same thing with alcohol. What you're saying is like, I realize like, if I'm going to drink, it's either because I'm celebrating an accomplishment.
Yeah.
There's got to be a real reason. It's not just like, okay, I got home and I'm just going to like start drinking. Like, I don't do that. It's just... Like you said, it's just kind of depressing, even.
Yeah, well, I was depressed, so that helped me deal with it. So, and even still to this day, like I don't really get depressed as much now that I'm sober. But like when I was drinking, I noticed that like my body would be so dehydrated and so tired that I would naturally fall into a depression because of that. and it wasn't because I had something going on. It's just your mind goes there because your body is feeling that way. So now that I'm not drinking every day, I don't see depression anymore. And plus I know how to deal with it mentally to get out of it too, which I've had to research and read about. But like, yeah, man, it's you're doing yourself a disservice if you're constantly doing something that's hurting your body. That's all.
It is hurting your body.
Yeah.
Because you've brought it up, is that something that you were working on for a long time? Like in terms of like, because it's very true. It's a fact what you're saying. Like physically putting your body through that, your body falls into that weakened.
Yeah.
Like you're just weak. You're tired. You're run down. I guess you really had to think about that and understand that before.
I didn't know I was doing that to myself. I didn't know that's why I was getting depressed. I thought it was just normal to be depressed every couple weeks or whatever, But like, that's not the case. You're depressed because you're dehydrated. You're fucking tired. Take a nap. Stop drinking. So like, yeah, and so like everything in moderation. Like, I still have friends that like to drink every night and smoke and do this and that, but then it always catches up with you at some point.
Yeah.
Heck
yeah.
And like my uncle, I was hanging out with him in Arizona while I was doing shows. And me and him love to barbecue and drink and smoke, and talk about girls and all that stuff. And now he's at the point where he's got diabetes. He had to quit drinking and he can't eat barbecue.
Like he had to quit drinking.
He was forced to stop.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't agree. Yeah, I feel you. I don't want to get to that point either. I'd rather choose to drink and enjoy it than for a doctor to tell me you can't drink anymore. You're done. Or barbecue, like you said, right?
Yeah, because like now, so you can't even enjoy barbecue like you used to. So I don't want to have to stop like that. I want to be able to like say once or twice a month I can go all out, have a good time, and then just moderation.
Yeah, moderation. So would you say whiskey is your moderation?
Yeah.
Your thing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Wednesday night this week was the first time I had a drink since New Year's Eve. And so since you guys are watching this at a later point, that means I waited a few weeks in between. And the only reason I was drinking was because people were buying me so many drinks. They were just, a lot of comics were happy to see me. So I was drinking and I had a good time, and then I was like, that's it. I need a break for like another month now.
That's great.
Yeah, so I just kind of treat it like that. Like it's for a good time. That's it.
Me too.
Yeah.
I definitely, it's cleared the air for me too. Yeah. And I work out a lot more now.
Oh, yeah?
I'm the opposite now. Like I feel like if I'm not working out more, I feel so bad.
What kind of fitness are you doing?
I do spin a lot now.
Oh, you go to the cycling classes?
I do cycling, and I love my little team, and I just sweat. Like the feeling of just like if I don't sweat every 2 days, like heavily, I don't feel good.
Do you go to saunas too?
I don't go to saunas. I want to go to like K-Town and go rock the saunas and those all day like crazy sauna spots over there. No, I don't. I was actually considering, not now, but actually getting a sauna. They have those like personal saunas. Because they said that, people in like Switzerland and like all these other places like, use these like hot rooms and saunas and stuff. And it's supposed to like be really good for your body and your skin. And why'd you bring that up? Just?
Well, I mean,
just
have you visited the fan page for Keith Sweat?
No.
Oh, you'd be surprised who's in there.
What do you mean?
Nobody.
Oh. Oh my God, I totally got set up. Did you know? No, you didn't. You didn't know. Because I was like, this is going down a road. Oh my God. Okay.
Sorry,
that's okay.
It's a cheesy joke.
I legitimately was going into like the sweat, the saunas, because the health benefits are supposed to be amazing.
They are though.
They are.
If you're sick, I heard it's a good place to go to sweat it out.
Yeah, but I think if you do it like every few days, it's just supposed to be really it's to clear your mind. It's to clear the fog. It's another thing. Yeah.
All you foggy people out there, go.
I get foggy, like not as much, but I used to get mad foggy. I think a lot of people like live to be foggy. They live in the fog. They choose to be in the fog.
I used to be in the fog.
Me too. I used to be in the fog. I'm really trying not to be in the fog as much.
But you don't know you're in the fog when you're in the fog.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I think some people do though. I don't think everyone.
Some people know they don't care, sure, but they don't realize how deep in the fog I think they
because
are.
they don't care.
Yeah.
And that's how deep they are.
My last roommate was in some type of fog, and like we got in this huge argument multiple times, and like I couldn't stand her. She was getting to be like hostile, and she was showing lots of signs of just being very volatile. She's making up paranoid reasons about ways I was trying to screw her over, which was not true at all.
Yeah.
And so we got in this. I lost my temper once. I finally lost my temper, and she was yelling, and I'm yelling, and I'm like, she's insulting me, and I'm like, fuck you, you're on drugs. She's like, oh yeah, what drugs do you think I'm on? I'm like, all of them, bitch, all. You're on. You are nuts. And so, anyway, I'm out of that situation now.
Good.
But yeah, I think she was in this. I don't know what she was taking, but it was making her think that I was against her for some reason, like, and I wasn't. So,
dude, that's crazy because drugs and alcohol, I think that there are very specific drugs, you're saying, I agree, that make you feel paranoid, but I think alcohol and even just weed, sometimes like people just get, I don't know, they're just like so numb and disconnected, they don't care about what other people feel. They're just in their numb state, in the fog, like what you're talking about. Like that's wild. Anyway, so moving forward with what you're working on now, what is it that you are trying to accomplish maybe this year? As like,
this year I'm trying to accomplish doing stand-up comedy in different cities and states that I haven't been to. Like I want to go to like a lot of the major cities like Miami, New York, Chicago, Memphis, New Orleans. I want to go back to Seattle, and I want to go back to Toronto, and eventually branch out of the country and go other places. That's where I want to be, like a world tour. That's where I'm trying to get. So for now, I'm trying to stay consistent, which I am, and put out content, new sketches every month, as well as new music and podcasts and stand-up shows all the time.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Where have you been that you felt like was a really great scene that you like want to go back and rock again?
Portland, Seattle, Phoenix. I've been multiple times this last year.
Yeah.
And I would definitely like to go back to El Paso. San Diego has a great scene.
How's El Paso like? Like, what's the vibe there?
El Paso's really cool. There's one club out there called the Comic Strip that I've done a couple times that I really enjoyed, and like Mexico is right there. So the club's here, you can see Mexico right when you walk out.
The Trump wall or what?
I don't think I saw Trump wall. I don't think I saw it's El Juarez. So I think they don't need a wall to know that.
No, they don't need a wall.
You don't want to go there.
Juarez, you don't need a wall.
You need. That's not a safe place.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Sorry. I know, gotta say, nobody.
No. You gonna remember that one?
That's a jam.
Yeah, right?
Oh, you set me up so hard on that one, too. I just walked right in there.
You're like, where's this going?
Like, where is this going? Because, I mean, he's got some other jams, too.
Yeah.
When you were doing, sorry, random. When you were doing music, what was your jams? What were your, like, where were you? Were you all over the place, or did you have, like...
I played funk, rock, and R&B, but that was, like, my personal stuff. But then when I got hired to be in other bands, I was in a Latin band, reggae band, rock band, heavy metal band, pop band. So I can do whatever style. But my personal, I liked writing my own songs. Mm-hmm. But then I didn't even take my own lyrics seriously after a while. So I was just like, I don't want to talk about my feelings no more. Let's just make a joke. So that's why the Sweet Sweet was born.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool. What would you say is the most challenging part of what you're doing now, though?
Being patient, because I want so many opportunities to come through. Like, I want to get a TV credit, I want to be in movies, and I want to travel all those places I mentioned. And it's just being patient enough to keep doing the work every day, so that way those opportunities come to pass. That's the hardest part. It's just waiting and working hard and not knowing if it's gonna happen. You know, it's like I choose to believe it will. So far that method has worked. you know.
It's happening. It's happening. I feel the same way. I feel like it's like, but once something happens, it's like, well, what's the next thing I'm doing?
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't even realize that you've superseded some of the things you've done.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you celebrate. I don't know. A lot of us don't celebrate.
I don't celebrate like I should. I used to celebrate by getting drunk, but now it's like, I don't know what to
You're like, that's not the celebration reason.
you know, I don't know what to do now. I need naps now. I'm tired. I don't know. I go to get vegan donuts sometimes.
Are you a vegan?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm dessert wise.
Dessert wise.
Dessert
Is it a
wise.
really good vegan spot that does dope donuts?
Guys, Donut Friend in Highland Park.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, bro, you been there?
I know where it is.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
The best donuts, better than even real donuts. And like, I just can't digest milk, so
Okay.
that's why it's like I need to eat a donut that I can put away.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay, so I guess final question.
Oh no, the final question.
I know, no pressure,
already.
guys.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you're here on First Among Equals because of the stuff that I've been seeing you doing and the grinding and stuff. What would you tell other people? Like, how do you want people to see you in the work that you're doing?
Hopefully funny. You know, that would be my main thing. If you think I'm funny, keep staying tuned. I got a lot more coming. I would like people to think that like I have something to say. I'm biracial. There's not a lot of people like me of my mix, Arabic and black, and that play guitar at that too. And I see the world in a different way. And so if I can help open the eyes of people listening to, you know, just relax, have a good time, and enjoy your life and follow your dreams, and also be responsible and work hard at the same time, then I feel like maybe I've done my job.
Oh, sorry, I love that. All right, awesome. I love it. Anybody, any handles, anything you wanna plug? Coming up? This will come out in a few weeks, so if you have something.
No, absolutely. Thanks for asking, guys. If you liked anything you heard so far today, I have a lot more to offer at my website, AmirTheAmiracle.com. Also, same handle goes for Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Amir the Amiracle. And every Wednesday you can find me at the Robin Hood British Pub, hosting a comedy show. And then every Tuesday you can see my podcast, The Wings of Love, Sexy Time.
Dope, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go for it. I got the end. Wait, but, actually, sorry, one more thing.
Yeah.
Why are you Amir the Amiracle?
Because I am one.
Aw. All right, I just didn't know there was a story, and I hadn't even asked you that. I just thought it was really cool.
It's not a good story. My friend used to tease me, calling me a miracle, and I was just like...
Oh, that's dope. I get it now.
And then there's so many comics named Amir, and we all have the same... Our last names all start with the same letter, K.
Oh.
So, like, there's Amir K, there's Amir Kabiri, there's Amir Khalil, that's me.
Okay.
And there's probably some other Amirs out there, so I was like, hey, I gotta stand out somehow.
That's sick. All right, cool. Well, thank you for coming, Amir.
Oh, thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. We'll do it again. And
Yeah.
I really appreciate you. And I just want to say that I see your hustle and grind, and it really inspires me to keep pushing on the things I want to do. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for checking out First Among Equals, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.
Ooh, yeah.
They got to say, you best tune in, you best check it out soon. Yeah, Lonnie and Danny and somebody's big old Fanny. Yeah, I'm in El Sereno. Sereno, yeah. I need some Drano, yeah, to clog out this bullshit in my sink, yeah. And El Sereno. They painting murals. Look out for Lonnie. She be doing all kinds of shit and stuff, yeah. Watch out for Danny. He be recording shit and stuff. Watch out for First Among Equals, yeah. First among these equals, baby, yeah. I be Amir, the Amiracle. You know I get super lyrical. Mess with me, I drop your mom's on Imperial, yeah. Yeah, fuck with me. I shit in your cereal, yeah.